Well, hi there pluckers, I've Sore Fingers again with you for part 2 of my lessons on the song called The Wretches from a band called the Coffinshakers, and I believe they're from Sweden, I think. Okay, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're from Sweden. Now, just a quick note before we start. In the first part 1 I showed you how to play the rhythm behind the twangy guitar intro, okay, which was B minor, a D, a G chord and an A chord, and I was playing bar chords obviously. Okay, twice the way through for the intro twangy guitar bit, okay. But what I forgot to mention was, if you struggle with bar chords, or you don't want to play the bar chord B minor, just play the simpler version of B minor, that's fine. Also, that'd be the 2nd fret of the top E string with your 1st finger, the 3rd fret of the 2nd string with your 2nd finger, the 4th fret of the D string, the 4th string with your 3rd finger, and the 4th fret of the 3rd string, the G string, with your pinky. So that just covers the top 4 strings, yeah? So when you're strumming, that's the only strings you can strum. You don't play the A string or the bottom E string when you're strumming simpler B minor. You just have to concentrate on trying to strum the top 4 strings, otherwise you'll get some strange noises, okay? So just a quick note on that. So as long as you play B minor, it can be the simpler version or the bar chord, okay? Whenever I say B minor, could be either. Help yourself. Option number 1. So then, coming out of the lead solo at the beginning of the song, it ends up with that little riff, which is the little riff you open it up with as well, but it finishes that way. And the rhythm obviously starts when on that last note. If you're just playing by yourself, then you just have to go, at that point you go into the B minor. You don't hit well, because if you hit that note on its own and then go into the B minor, you're a bit behind, okay? So if you're playing it on your own, don't go to that note, go to the B minor chord, whichever version you're playing, okay? So if you're playing it on your own, you come out of that solo bit and you straight into that chord at that point, okay? So the chords, now the good thing about this song is the chords for the verses, and there's 3 of them, are all the same, and they are exactly the same as playing behind the lead twangy guitar bit. B minor, D, G and A. So we'll just go through a verse for you and show you how it works. So coming out of the intro solo, they barricade D windows, G, they lock and nail at A, B minor, in fear they try D, shut down the light as if G, darkness will make them A skewer. At that point you play that little riff again, which is, just to remind you, is at an A string, open, then you hit it again and hammer up to the 2nd fret on the 5th string, open D string, and then straight into the B minor chord, okay? And then you play the 2nd verse, which is exactly the same to play with different words as the 1st verse, okay? So just quickly go through the first 2 verses, play it slowly, coming out of the solo at the beginning of the track. They barricade their windows, they lock and nail their doors. In fear they try to shut out the light as if darkness would make them secure. They shelter in their fortress, chamber high and away. From greed and will to blindness, how their poor bones must shiver and squeak. Right, At that point we're going into the chorus section, and the way we go into the chorus section again is with a little run up from the A chord, and that's very simple. It's just an open E, bottom E string, and then you go to the second on the bottom E, to the third on the bottom E, and then strike the G chord. So whichever G chord, just simple G like that, or the reverse G I played most of the time like that, okay? Or playing the other G, okay? And that's how you get into the chorus section. So coming out of that last line, where it goes, from greed and willful blindness, now their poor boys will shiver and scream. They cry out, please spare my life. Right, and that's G to B minor, okay? They cry out, please spare my life. And they're A, veins pound blue, and G, red. So that's the first line, 2 lines of the chorus, okay? So it goes, they cry out, please spare my life, and their veins pound blue and red. Now at that point there's another little lick which the lead guitar plays, obviously, but if you're on your own, if you can fit it in, you can try and do it. It's a bit quick to fit it in, and it's basically a little riff that goes, it does that. And that is a 2nd fret on the 5th string. You hit that note and pull it off to open, and then you play the 2nd on the 6th, back to that 3rd on the 6th, and back into a G again. So do it very slowly. At the beginning of the chorus, they cry out, please spare my life, and their veins pound blue and red. Right, that. It's a bit of a fiddle, but it's quite nice to get it in if you can. So they cry out, please spare my life, and their veins pound blue and red. No matter of seconds will they end their pointless strife. Okay, so it does the same again. When you've done that fiddle in bit, if you don't, you can leave it out, but it repeats the same as the first 2 lines with different words. No matter of B minor seconds, well they end is A, end their pointless G strike. There's no need for, no hope of death. And then it's very quickly into the next line. It goes from the G to the A. Okay, so right from the beginning again. They cry out, please spare my life, and their veins pound blue and red. And a matter of seconds will they end their pointless strife. There's no hope of death. Okay, got that? So as soon as you go into that G, matter of seconds will they end their pointless strife. And it goes straight into there's no hope of death. So end their pointless strife. There's no hope of a death for the wretches G, wretches. And then back to A again, condemned from hell. We go back to the B minor if you're playing the rhythm, but the way I was doing it, you have to play half of the intro, the first half of the intro at that point. Okay, so let's just go through that again, and I'll try and go through half of the intro at the end. Okay, so from the beginning of the chorus where it goes, you cry out, please spare my life, and their views fade out and red. No matter of seconds will they end their pointless strife. There's no hope of death for the wretches condemned from hell. and then you're into the third verse. Okay, so you come out of that where it goes, there's no hope of death for the wretches condemned from hell. Go straight into that lead solo part, as you did right at the beginning of the song, and you play the first half of it, just not all of it, just the first half. From comes wretches condemned from hell. Okay, so you don't play the second half of the twangy solo. And then you go into the third verse, which is the same chords again as the first two verses, B minor, D, G and A. Okay, so let's go all the way from the second verse. Okay, right, so His shelter from the fortress, shown the highmost and weak, from greed and wealth, from rightness, now their poor bones will shiver and squeak. They cry out, please spare my life, on the veins pound blue and red. Matter of seconds, well, they end their pointless strife. There's no hope of death for the wretches condemned from hell. In panic they cling to reason, the reason they want no good. They get there in lightning and the neat cold meal of wood. And it goes into the chorus again. Can't you please spare my life, and the veins pound blue and red. A matter of seconds will their pointless strife. There's no hope of death from the riches condemned to hell. Right, and at that point I played the full intro again, right, just like you did at the beginning of the song, right at the intro sort of section, so both halves of the intro, and then it goes into the bridge section. Okay, so coming out of that whole solo, so you do that whole solo again, where it goes, condemned from hell. Right, so coming out of the full solo bit, the intro again, you come out of that and you go another run down, but this time it's running down rather than up. You go from the G, third on the 6, to the second on the 6, to open bottom E string and a nice strong E minor strum. And what it does without singing the words over it, it goes like this. That's what the guitar is doing. Okay, so it starts off with the run down, bottom E string, no hope of death, no hope of death for the ruined souls, no hope of death for the wretched. Right, you got the idea. So I'll try and slow that down for you. It's quite hard to sing and play this at the same time. So it's like coming out of the full intro solo after the second chorus. No hope of death, no hope of death for the ruined so on. Okay, so you've got that. All that is now this bit was this like a break, and also what I'm doing, it might be slightly different, but that's the best that I can actually hear. I can't hear anything else, so it starts off with no hope of death for the ruined souls, death for the wretches. Now, so all that is right. Where it goes, no hope. Sorry. No hope of death. No hope of death for the ruined souls. Got that, so it's just G, and you stab, 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 stab. Death for the ruined souls, and souls go down to the second fret on the bottom E string. Death for the ruined souls, back to E. No hope of G, A, the wretches, and then back to the B minor, D, G, and A. Now at that point, they play the same chords, the B minor, D, for the lead break, G and A, same as usual, same as the intro, but they play a different lead solo. I tended to play the intro lead solo because I quite like that. So, but it's up to you. If you want to play a different lead solo at that point, please do so. But it's the same chords, B minor, D, G, and A. Okay, and then it does another chorus. Comes out of that lead solo, does another chorus, and then they just play the intro again and they sing over it, you know, odd phrases like ad lib sort of thing. So there it was, because it's the nearest I can get for you on that one. Great little song, and sort of country-ish twang to it. The singer, actually, when I first heard it, I thought it was Johnny Cash, to be honest with you. But it obviously isn't, but he sounds very like Johnny Cash. Anyway, to me. Thanks very much for watching this, and I'll see you in the next lesson, whatever that might be. Okay, bye for now.